Hey everybody, welcome. I had my little face up there and not my actual face. How you guys doing today? This is the office. What's up? It's the usual time, 3:15, 3:30, Monday or Tuesday. However, the energy today, just to get you guys on cue, we're going to start with saying that I'm super annoyed with the energy. It's very frustrating. It's not really aligning with how you're feeling. So basically, you're feeling like you want to move forward. You want things to move forward. You're feeling the shift in energy from the summer to the fall. There's been a big change in energy. You want things to move ahead, but it's almost like things are going in slow motion and almost like abruptly stopped. And you're trying to keep moving, but you keep hitting these stops. And we talked about that last week, but now it's combining with about 6 retrogrades. And usually we're focusing on Mercury retrograde. Mercury's not in retrograde, but 6 other planets are. So we're experiencing this slowdown, which is very, very annoying, along with the situation of what we talked about last week, which was a super important webcast. Okay, so if you didn't get to see it last week, you can always go on YouTube, Channel Connection Beyond, or you could just go back to the video from the last office by scrolling down through my Facebook feed or in the videos. You'll see the office from last week, and you'll understand what we're talking about today, because I thought I was so out of it last week, but really, I guess I was channeling some important information, which a lot of people did connect to. And this is the first time today that we're bringing guests on the office to actually clarify what this energy is and how it is related to people and how people could apply it. We used all the symbolism last week, from talking about how all these stops and starts and doors closing and you want to move forward and things are stopping, that if you're having these situations happen, the energy is being forced to align. Okay, so you're actually moving up in energy, and it seems like a very frustrating thing, but really it's a good thing because you're getting on the right track or the right train, like we talked about last week. So we talked about low vibration, high vibration, and changing energies, and the concept of alignment, which means you're going up in frequency. And as you go up in frequency and vibration and you learn your life lessons and you're able to complete cycles, toxic cycles, negative cycles that you found yourself in, whether that's relationships, career, health, it seems like if you look back over the past 15 years, you probably saw patterns in life situations. Some of you may only have those patterns in an area which is a weaker point. Some of you might have those patterns across the board, financially, career, relationship. And that means that you are not in alignment, okay? Because when we do incarnate here onto the earth plane, we come here with a mission. However, there is a treasure map, okay? So there's a choose your own adventure book. There are certain destiny points and certain people we have to meet, and that we have to hit these destiny points. However, how you navigate some of your other adventures in life is completely up to you, because the choices that you make determine those pathways. So if you're going to see a psychic, we talk about psychic readings, and I talked about this concept last week. I think people are under the misconception that they're predicting the future. However, there's many futures, according to what I know and I believe, depending on your level of alignment. And there's all these different levels here on the earth plane that you can exist on, depending on your frequency. So if we look at a musician and we look at a guitar, okay, there's different strings. And I'm sure our guests could talk about this because I'm not well equipped to talk about it. But if you have an A string or an E string, they vibrate. They vibrate at a certain frequency. You can't make an A string vibrate to an E note. It's just not possible. So you have to look at where you're aligned. And also you could be out of tune. That's the thing. You could be playing an A note, but you could be out of tune. Okay. So what I talked about last week was the symbolism of the wooden roller coaster. That when you first start dealing with alignment and wanting to have a better flow in life and better experiences, a better future from your experiences, a better road on that Choose Your Own Adventure book. When you first start out, you're going to be feeling like you're on a wooden roller coaster. So there's a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, a lot of twists and turns, and it hurts. It's jarring, those wooden roller coasters. It's a ride and it's exciting, but it's harsh. Okay, so then you work a little bit on yourself. You graduate to the steel roller coaster where you're still having those big peaks and valleys. You're still having those big climbs followed by those big drops with, chaos and drama, but it's a little bit smoother. You're used to it. And you usually attract other people that are used to the ups and downs. Okay. So like sitting on, a little kid's ride where you're going around in circles is not going to be too exciting for you. So you're kind of graduating to the bigger roller coasters, but they're not the wooden ones. And then as we talked about that more, we talked about being on a train. Okay. So you can go to the station, buy your ticket to the destination that you want to go to. And you have certain stops that you're going to hit along that train ride to that destination. The conductor isn't going to change tracks because you decide you want a new experience. The conductor being life, God, whatever you want to call it, higher power. So you're getting on that train. You've chosen that train until you decide to change your pathway, your plan, your map, your pattern, not because you wish it, but because you're taking the actions to get off that train, look at the map, go to a different station and get on a new train. Your experiences and the pathways that you hit along that road are going to be very different. So as a psychic or as somebody who's looking into your future for a reading, what they're doing is not taking away your anxiety by telling you everything's going to be okay in the future. Okay. If you say, oh my God, I just broke up with this guy and I want to know, Marisa, when am I going to meet the new one? I have to go on and look at that energy line and look at that train and say, well, here are the stops that she's going to meet along this ride. Here's the guy that's down the road next June, and this is what he looks like. But that's on the same train ride. So he's going to be experiencing a lot of the same lessons and things that you are. And more than likely, you guys are going to be playing out a pattern together. So a psychic could predict, but it's not just one future. Okay. It's not just one outcome. You could change your pathway at any time. Okay. So that's really important. Then we talked about getting on the different trains. Then we talked about roads. We talked about if you like symbolism of driving, when you're not aligned, you're going to be going on all the roads with the different detours, the construction. You're going to be in traffic. You're going to be honking your horn. There's going to be road rage, but you're still going to the same destination as the guy who's on the back road, enjoying the scenery, moving through the right road, and he's flowing. Okay. We want you to get to that point. Then where we really want to align you is on the lazy river ride. Okay. Where you're finally at the point where you've learned all the lessons we talked about in the last 5 months. You've gone through the inner changes and the turmoil that you were supposed to experience from any of those old wounds, and you fixed it. And you got in tune with yourself, and therefore you've learned those lessons. You're on a new train, and later on the lazy river ride. So if that makes sense, I had to kind of summarize it for you guys, because if you're experiencing stops and starts now, so that's the process. Okay, that's in a nutshell, kind of the symbolism that I could use to simplify what I'm talking about. So on the other angle, we have to learn the lessons in order to change those situations and understand alignment, which is where we're headed now. So the people that have been listening to these webcasts, which were all about alignment and going into the new consciousness, I'd say about 3 weeks ago, we were having kind of a hologram-like experience where you were experiencing the old life and the new life together and getting a little confused as to where you're supposed to be going. But now those things are integrating and we're getting ready to get on that new path of manifestation and to that high manifestation cycle, which is going to be the point for those of you who are manifesting, whether that's a creative project, something you want to write a book, you want to do a movie, you want to own a business, you want to make things more comfortable for yourself financially. That's where my manifestation course is going to be coming out. The timing is really important. So the preparation is now before you get to launch that new project or product. And you could be at any stage that you want to be, but it's going to be the 30-day manifestation course, and I'm going to be launching it at high manifestation time. And we're coming into that now. So you want to be ready. You want to be aligned, because where your energy is what you're going to attract. It's what you're going to do. So you have to realize that in order to manifest, you got to move through the procrastination points, stuck points, everything, those patterns that have been holding you back. So if you want to join our class, you just go in the description box and you'll see there's an email. You could put your name in for an email to let you know when it's coming out. Okay. So that's really important. So let me just see who's here. I didn't look at the comments yet because I had so much going on in my head that I wanted to give you guys. So hi, everybody. Hi, Kim, Stephanie, Beth, Ella, Carol, Michael. Hi, Kelly. Hi, everybody. It looks like you guys have been listening because no one's been talking. So before we get to our special guests, because we do have our special guests, if you guys saw the lounge on Friday, they were watching The Office last week. So this is how I'm picking out my guests. Some of you are coming. The last time I got Nora from The Office. Now April and Dave, there are musicians and sound catchers, and they've had all these crazy mystical experiences and then channel their music. Just beautiful. They came on the lounge. They had their CD release party on the lounge, which I didn't even know. They came on, and they are just, our audience was just like, wow, it just took us into a new vibration. We talked about their boogie bus, which I still have a picture of the boogie bus. This is what they ride around in. Yep, this is the boogie bus. Okay, this is their car, and it runs on vegetable oil. So everybody had a wonderful time talking about that. And if you guys have questions about their car, their bus, you just let us know. All right, but before we get to them, we're going to discuss this concept in practical application for what I talked about. We're going to take real people and we're going to discuss what they're going through and see if that could maybe help you guys to understand how we could break these cycles. Okay, so this is supposed to be a very practical application for you guys. But before we do that, I want to talk about some of the world energy, because I know you guys come on for the forecast. So like I said last week, we're still going on with the shutdown of accounts. If you found that your Instagram, your Facebook, there's shutdowns of your accounts that hit delays, your financial accounts, especially banks, money wiring, institutional funds, delays on any sort of money, loans, mortgages, any type of lending or wiring of money, or where you're supposed to get money in your account. There's a lot of delays. There's also a lot of delays on things you use all the time that are dependent on people managing those services like Facebook or Instagram, anything like that. You're going to find that there's going to be delays and you're going to have to wait, and it's just going to be very frustrating. Like I was talking about before, you might want to go fast. Okay. You definitely might want to go fast right now. Your body wants to go fast, but nothing is moving fast. Everything's in slow motion. There's nothing wrong with you, but it's very frustrating because you want things to happen. You feel the movement, but people aren't getting back to you fast enough. People aren't going to write you back. Your appointments are delayed. Lots of stuff. Super annoying. You could still get things done, but we're at a snail's pace. So expect what you could get done in a day, work-wise, might take you about 3 days. Okay? It's very hard to relax as the body and mind are in two different energies at the moment. Two different energies. We're feeling a push, but can't seem to have anything else cooperate. So right now, this is going to last until like for the most of the week. So I would say just try to keep calm and not have road rage or flip out at anybody. It's going to be hard. Or not get pushy or forceful if people aren't responding to you, because it's just the way the energy is. Very frustrating, random. The mortgage market, there's something going on with the mortgages and stocks. Okay. I don't know, but there's a spike. There's going to be a spike and deep fall and then rise again. So don't invest your money depending on me, but I'm just saying, I feel something with the market going a little crazy. But it seems very, very like short-lived, but I see people kind of freaking out about it. I don't know. I guess you got to be lucky. Let me see what else I have here. Hold on. This didn't say, this is why it's annoying, because I definitely put this in here and it didn't do it. So let's see if this works. Okay. Now something with the NFL is coming up for me. Changes with the NFL, the schedule, how they do things. which will cause fans to be very divided. So I don't know what that's all about, but I get that for sure. Lots of news on sports. So I feel like I said, you're going to be seeing some news about the NFL. Not sure what's going on there. Good thing to fix, a good time to fix small things, not huge things, small things you've been putting off right now. Creative plans, very good. So have your creative plans in place. This is a time where you're actually channeling a lot of creative energy. But see, we have to put that into place during the high manifestation time for it to launch properly. But your creative plans, very good. So get your stuff in place before our launch time. Finishing projects, getting ready to launch for high manifestation period. So whatever creative project you started in the past that maybe aren't complete, this is a good time to slowly get ahead doing them, because it's going to be frustrating because everything is going to be slow. Really important. If this is important, getting rid of things, throwing things away. This isn't a high purging. This is throwing things away to make room for the new energy that you're going to be experiencing. But this will not coincide with you being sentimental at the moment and wanting to hold on to things. So you're being sentimental, you're emotional, and plus you need to get rid of things. So that's a little bit tough. I don't know why February was coming to mind as a random thing, but I'm feeling a big change in world energy in February. Earth signs. Okay, so the astrological stuff I'm picking up. Earth signs, you need to do grounding activities this week and stay in creative flow. The energy is going to be taking you way up. So this is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. You need to do grounding activities, walking, yoga, anything to help ground your energy so that when you're doing your creative projects, you're not getting carried away. Okay, very important. Let's see. Air signs. Okay, see, this is not working for me here. I'm still having problems. Still slow. All right. Air signs. This is a really good time for you to get out the written or spoken word. So I know that April May is the Libra, and this is her air energy. They put out their CD release album. Okay. So this is a great time for her to launch that album. Expression is at a high. Media, entertainment, bookings. Good time for Libras, Aquarius, and why am I blanking here? Air signs. I don't know what I'm talking about. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Good time to get out the written or spoken word. Expressions at a high. Media, entertainment, bookings. So anything that relates to getting yourself out there, really good time. Water signs. I know water signs, you're going to say to me, Marisa, you're a nut. School just started. Most of your parents, okay? This is a good time to take a spontaneous trip for the water signs because they need to renew that energy that was so crazy over the summer. But they're going to say to me, because most of them are a little OCD, they're going to say, Marisa, I'm not spontaneous. I need to have a plan for my trips. Everything needs to be planned conscientiously, and I need to have everything in place. Well, this is a good time to take a trip, but it's not spontaneous, so it might conflict with your OCD to plan. Great time to renew your energy, though. So I wouldn't, if you could take a day trip or a weekend trip, awesome. Fire signs. Okay. You guys got to be a little careful. All right. Because your sexuality is in overdrive. All right. And you guys are going to be running all over the place. I don't know what you'll be doing, but this is Leo, Aries, and oh my God, why am I blanking today? That's because of the energy. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Now be careful if you're single and you're one of those fire signs that you're not on overdrive to where you're getting involved with the wrong people because of the intensity of sexual chemistry. Okay. If you're dating or picking people online or whatever, there's a good chance this could backfire. So just be very careful who you're getting involved in. Okay. So, or with, and that was I don't know. So let's see what you guys have to say. So we have somebody going down the lazy river, Lisa Lewis. I'm happy to hear about that. Great. Michael Ruff from South Jersey Smiles, our resident holistic dentist. He's getting rid of lots of stuff during his move. Perfect time to move. Good job. Stephanie agrees with my astrological interpretation of the water signs. She's a little OCD. She's having trouble, but she's listening. She might get through it. Let's see. Now, Kelly, how you doing? She's a Leo. Paula, yeah, I don't know if you guys aren't married, you're going around dating. I don't know. You just better be careful. Don't get too crazy because your Leo sun, the sun of the Leo, the spark, you guys like that intensity, that heat, that fire, that attention. Be careful. It's more of like the finale of the fireworks display. All right. So Christy, she's ready to go. She's ready to do it. That's good. All right. So without further ado, we're going to bring on our special guests. They were the lovely and talented April, Mae, and the Junebugs. They did a concert for us, basically, in the lounge, and they're going to be coming back and doing more Halloween music to help us channel into the higher energy. They've had ghost experiences. They were spooked. They did lovely stories around our campfire at the lounge. And now they said, Marisa, after the lounge, they said, Marisa, we have some questions. We heard what you were talking about on The Office, and we're confused as to where we are in alignment. I said, you know what? Come on The Office this week. We'll talk about it because other people can benefit. So without further ado, let's bring on April, Mae, and Catfish. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, you
Thanks
guys
for having us on.
See, you guys aren't performing, so you're a little bit more like meek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to behave.
You're trying to behave. I know. When you guys are performing, it's like you channel this like crazy energy. It's awesome. If you guys didn't get to see them, go to Friday's Lounge. Their music is phenomenal. We had a great time. And you guys, how's the boogie bus doing? Is the boogie bus working fine on the vegetable oil?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. So you guys are going to be coming back on the lounge to do more Halloween music. Well, it's not Halloween. Let's not get it all kitschy. It's like you guys are doing channeled music that is related to the season. Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very supernaturally themed. Some of the music's very fun and some of it's very, as you were saying, it felt very channeled.
Yes. And I can't wait to let our people feel it. And actually, it's an experience. It's not like you're just listening to music. You sit and listen to it, you go into a higher plane. So This is like a drug.
Wow. Thank you.
So you guys had some questions about the concepts we were talking about, and I was talking about to get into alignment. So what were your questions, and what are your experiences been, so we can look at maybe the practicalities of what you're doing to try to get you in the right direction?
So we've been listening to The Office religiously. If we don't catch it when you're live, we always catch it later. And I take notes. I have a little stack of notes from every week. And I've been really perplexed by the idea of, upshifting to a higher consciousness. And we really want to be part of that shift. But I don't know, and this was my question to you, is how do you know if you're upshifting or if you're not?
Well, the way you know that you're upshifting right now is actually the opposite of what you would think it would be. So if you're experiencing a lot of stops and starts, things aren't flowing properly at the moment, doors are closing, other ones are opening, and then you had planned maybe 6 months ago to go in one direction and now another direction's opening that's completely different. It's a lot of annoying stops and starts. Wow. That means that the body and the mind and the spirit are actually, it's like a car trying to turn on that engine. You're trying to move to the other energy, but there's still a little part of you that still has to, like, loose ends have to be tied up with the old energy for you to finally, it's like that balloon, the hot air balloon being released, right? It's grounded and then they finally release it. You're still anchored just a little bit, which is why you might be feeling that tug on your energy and some of those frustrating experiences. So Are there areas of your life which you're feeling like there are some patterns that aren't so great?
Well, I know with our music in the past, we were playing out a lot. We canceled 2 tours since the pandemic and a lot of shows. And so since we can't really do that right now, we instead turned to, trying to write some new music and focus on kind of like, if I was trying to think of it as a yin and yang way, like since if we were yang before, I guess we can only be yin now because we can't be out playing. So that felt good to be back writing again, but it also feels so different because we're so used to always trying to book shows and perform shows, and it makes me wonder, like, how is our future going to be impacted? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I don't know if it'll go back to the way it was. So then where do we go? Do you know what I mean?
Right. So what have you been doing to kind of, have you been just waiting in the station to get on the old train and wait for it to move? Or have you kind of explored other towns and other train stations and their destinations and said, you know what? Obviously, this train isn't going anywhere anytime soon. We don't know how long we have to wait. It's the waiting on the current path or on the former path that gets people in a bad position. So if you're waiting for that train to get on that old train for it to move, you could be waiting another year, and then you're not going to be going anywhere because you're just going to be waiting, not taking any action. For me, I'm a performer too, just not a musician, but I had touring shows, all over, and those have stopped. My groups have stopped, and you have to almost take that energy and say, what can I do to make the best out of the energy? And so that comes from channeled information. So like when I started doing this stuff, it started as not perfect because I had no idea what I was doing as far as like webcasts and live stuff. I actually didn't make a video for a whole year. So, and it went from not making a video for a whole year to like 3 times a week. And it just started with me getting that feeling of, hey, I'm feeling like I need to connect with people, inspire people, not so much to think about it as a business thing, but what can I do with my creative energy to get it out and to kind of inspire and serve. So it wasn't like, hey, I'm going to go walk down the street and give people the energy because I need to make, money from doing that. It was, hey, I'm doing something to really get out of my own head, connect with the community and serve. And as you said, you've been watching since the pandemic started, like this train for me has just been kind of building on that creative energy. I don't know where it's going to lead yet, but it gives you kind of like that hermit card in the tarot. It gives you that lantern energy. It gives you that next light when, you can't see that. I can't see that far ahead, only like 3 to 5 days as far as when I'm looking into the energy. But when you're looking at that lantern, it's kind of like if you're on the path, if you're on the level and you're trying out a new path, the lantern will be lit every step of the way. But for people like you and me who are used to a certain way, because I've been doing this 20 years, you guys have been doing it a very long time, you kind of are like, well, I know the pathway. I know, how this works. I know how we book our shows. You're used to a certain pattern. But if you think back to it, if you think back to the way things were, really, were you flying high with the way things were, or were you just maintaining?
I think we were maintaining.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we had some peaks, but then it felt like we'd go back to where we were, and then we'd have a peak, and then we go back to where we were. So it felt like maintaining.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
So-
here.
Yes, it would be like, it would start in the beginning of the year. It'd be a lot of work to get things rolling. And then you get things, that momentum get going to go out and do all these things that we do, right? The places that we play or the tours and such and such. And then by mid-year, you finally, things are rolling the way it should be. It's still work. And then by the end of the year, it's like, accomplishment time. Finally, this is great, And then as soon as that end of the year, as soon as it start, to get ready for the next year, it was like start all over again.
Yeah.
I can't, it's not exactly every year was like that, but it was like what you just said, where all of a sudden it was like full circle. Okay. And it's no, you didn't go on another level. You're at the same level, but you have to start all over again. Like as if it was like, that movie Groundhog's Day.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
With, what's his name? Oh, not, Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So
Wake up and that radio alarm goes off again. That's in the movie where the radio alarm goes off and I got you, babe. I mean, that's singing. That's with the movie in there. It's like this is like the 15th time. It's like the 15th year. Let's start over again. Well, what happened? I thought we were good this year. I thought, yeah, we were great. You guys are great. Oh, wow. Who are you guys again? Huh? Yeah.
Right. Right. And that's the issue with manifesting, is that once you create a product or you have a creative passion that you do and it becomes a job and it becomes a way to make a living, people are like, wow, that's so cool. April, Mae and Catfish, they perform and they're on tour. And you're like, no. It's a business. This is what we do. But it's hard. It's hard work because you guys are the administrators, you're the marketers, you're the financial people. You're the ones who are, because you can't leave this into everybody's hands. When you're starting a business or you're starting a creative endeavor, you're the janitor and you're the performer in the same sense. You're moving your PAs and you're moving all your equipment. Right. It's like you have your own bus that you're the driver of the bus. So
processing the oil.
Well, processing, okay. Yeah. But I just wanted to add to that. Didn't want to sound like that was, not being humble or grateful for any of the kind of good.
No, we don't think that.
There's a lot of good that comes from things.
Yeah. Yes.
But there's nothing wrong with trying to get, if you've been doing it for a long time, to try to get to another. There's no crime or anything like that to try to get to another level.
No, right? And I think that sometimes if you are in maintenance mode and that's all the energy you have to be in maintenance mode, you can't get up to that next level because you're constantly maintaining. Right. You're constantly maintaining what you manifested at first. And if you take that time to try to manifest to another level, you'd be losing what you're maintaining, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of what I talk about in the manifestation course. That's a big thing, is maintenance.
We're on the list. We're excited.
Yeah, on the maintaining. And that's what a lot of people do because they have, maybe they're musicians, but they have a day job, or maybe they have a family, or maybe they have kids in school. Whatever it is, you're maintaining. You have to maintain your email list. You have to maintain your clients. And while I do have some help, it's still everything I do, from my contract negotiations to everything, is me, And so what I think this pandemic gave us a chance to do as artists or as people in the creative endeavors, or even if I don't necessarily think an artist needs to be creative. Okay. I think that a business owner is an artist because you constantly have to change what you're doing and get creative to know what's working and not what's working. So a lot of people took this pandemic as like, oh my God, everything's closed. I can't do anything. I'm just going to sit home and be anxious and upset. Okay. That means you're staying in the train station, just waiting there to get on that same train. What they don't realize is that once that train station opens again, maybe those stops aren't going to be in there anymore and that destination's not going to be there. Maybe that train isn't going to run. They're going to get on the announcement and say, we're sorry to say you waited a year, but this train's no longer in service because that energy line doesn't exist.
Wow.
So we shouldn't be waiting.
Yeah.
Other people that decided they wanted to take a change in the energy, use this time wisely to create, to be able to think, how can I think outside the box to navigate this new road? How can I walk down this new road? I know it's scary, but what you guys did on Friday, you were in front of hundreds of people at doing your thing. And you know what? Everybody enjoyed it just like they would enjoy a concert. They enjoyed it. That was something new for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We've done it a couple times, but it felt very different doing it on your show.
Something changed. I felt it. I felt it. So you almost activated something that night and moving into the new energy. Okay. So I know for a Taurus, which is you, Catfish, you're in May, right?
Yes, I am. Yes,
you are.
First thing I got.
Change is a lot more difficult for you than it is for a Libra who's used to being able to flow.
I get it.
Okay. So you are going to be a harder nut to crack to move into this new energy and to break the cycle for yourself because you're going to have to completely let go of the past 15 years and how you did things.
Yeah, I hear you.
You guys are going to have to rebuild completely different now. And I think that if you rebuild now before that high manifestation time hits and you think about a new way to do things, you're going to see that's going to bring you so much more joy, even though the money might not be there right now. What you're building is eventually going to go in a different direction. So it's all about releasing that maintenance and saying, you know what, the way we did things, it's going to take about another year for everything to get back up and running. And you don't want to lose that time.
Right.
Right.
So I would say you guys are a little stuck.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
with the exception of the new music that we did, so we recorded in our home. We never did that before because we really wanted to go in the studio and record some more seasonal music, like, Halloween type music.
Yeah.
So we did some recording here, and then we had to send it to our engineer, and he put it all together. And that's been taken up, like, I guess maybe the past like 6 weeks. With the exception of that, that was some movement. But we were feeling stuck. Yeah, you totally got that right.
And see, but the thing is, like, going into that new way of doing it was probably at first very like jolting. And then you did it and you're like, all right, we could do this. I know it was to try to wrap our minds around a different way of things, but you did it and you're like, wait, I could do this from home. Okay, we did it. And now you came on here, you did that. And it's like the little lantern. And then you're like, hey, we could come on a couple more times. Oh yeah, sure. Come on. You don't know where that's going to lead. And maybe this Halloween themed music is kind of some sort of, inspiration for the way you market yourself for other bookings. Because right now, like I said, this week for Libras, getting out there and getting bookings, big week for that for you. So
I was happy to hear you say that because I was going to send my press release out on Friday.
There you go. I would do it before Friday. I would do it today if you can, or tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, you might want to market yourself into that whole Halloween marketing thing and get on some other shows, maybe even television, with that kind of theme in mind, because that's really, really take that and use it. You know what I mean? You got to take whatever the lantern is lighting for you and use it, even though you're like, I don't want to look like a Halloween band, Don't think about it that way.
Halloween's my thing.
Yeah. So maybe
that would be awesome, actually.
Yeah. So, it may be where something clicks for you, and always do stuff that brings you joy. Okay. I've been doing things for 20 years that I'm not going to, it's helped a lot of people the way that I did my job for 20 years, but there's some exhaustion in the way I was doing my job, and I could continue to please people and do it the way that I used to do it, but I can't. I have to go along the road that I'm feeling I have to go along. And people will be disappointed by, oh, well, you guys always played this way, or you guys always came to this bar. Why aren't you coming here? And it's just not aligned with our energy anymore. I can't, you're going to be disappointing people who like things the way it was, but you're going to be bringing in new people who sees things for the new energy. And that's where you really want to go, or the people that are going to come with you and kind of support that new energy in any area of your life. So.
Wow. Thank you.
You guys are a little stuck, but I have no doubt that you guys, and so I would say the challenge for you, Catfish, is letting go of the way you used to do things. Okay. For you, April, it's not going too fast and letting the attention go everywhere, from, all right, got to get this released out, got to get something done for 3 months later, got to figure out this, because then you're piecing everything together and nothing's ever really having a solid foundation.
That's so on the mark. I always have a bazillion ideas and thinking I should do all of them to do due diligence, but I'm totally fragmented, trying to focus on which is the one I should really focus on. So I try to do everything.
Right. And now what's good about Catfish is that he's a grounding force. Okay. So he's that Taurus, he's that rock. So why don't you let him pick something to say, this is what we're going to go with. This is my choice. And you're going to say, okay, he could lead. This is the choice. And then we're going to do the next thing. And April, you're going to get him to say, help him to let go of stuff. So he's going to pick up the rock. You're going to throw away the rock. Okay.
Wow.
So you're going to throw away the stuff that doesn't serve him anymore or serve you guys. You're going to say, we're not doing this anymore. No matter how you like this ritual or routine, this is done. And Catfish, you're going to say, this is what we're focusing on. And this is what we're going to take from start to finish. If you use your skills to where you complement each other and use it as a gift for each other rather than as a liability for the individual, you'll go somewhere because you're a team.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I hope that makes sense.
No, it does make
Yeah.
sense. And I'll rewatch and keep getting it in there.
Yeah, because really we have assets that are assets and liabilities in the energy. So once they go to the extreme, they become liabilities. So your stubbornness, Catfish, and your routine, that helps you kind of get things done from start to finish. That helps you pay attention to detail. That helps you be dependable.
So
that
wait,
helps you.
this-
That's a good thing.
So you telling me that my stubbornness is a good thing?
Yes. At
Yeah.
times, yes. If it's used in the correct energy, your stubbornness might say, hey, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to give up because I'm stubborn, because I'm not going to let somebody take me down. That's stubbornness. Right?
Okay.
All right.
All
But
right.
when it goes to the extreme where you won't listen to anybody or anything, that's where it becomes a liability.
Does
Does that make sense?
This applies to some, not so much career things, but this maybe applies to some personal things.
Yeah, of course. It could apply to every aspect of your life. Right.
So there's a take and there's a give at but you have to know what that give and take is exactly, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're
I mean,
stubborn,
that's kind of vague, but
you're a bull, right? You're a bull. You're
Yeah.
stubborn. You're a Taurus bull. That's your animal, right? So let's say somebody says, oh, they come to you, you fix instruments. That's what you do.
I do.
I
That.
forget the name of luthier. How do you say what you do? Luthier?
Oh yeah, well, I fix guitars. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't really build them. My shop is way too small. And tooling, I do stuff. I try to make things better for everybody, to make their day go by. As a guitar repair person,
Right. So let's say someone came in your shop and they said, hey, I want you to fix my guitar, but I want you to do it this way. And you're like, no, hell no. I do things the way I do it. This is the way I'm successful. Don't tell me how to fix your instrument.
Right. I've run into problems before like that in the past, and I've learned. I've tried things other people's way, and I've learned that I've learned that much. I've learned.
Well, you could apply that in any direction, but stubbornness is not a bad thing when it comes to perseverance, and it comes to being able to, if somebody comes in and wants to take you down or say, you're not going to amount to anything or this or that, or you guys should just quit. And you're like, nope, I'm with it. Hell or high water. I'm going through it. I'm sticking it out. No one's going to, stop me. That's stubbornness in a good way.
Okay.
That's cool.
But when you're not open-minded, it's
stubbornness is strength. How about if you really don't know what the heck you're doing?
Well, stubbornness.
And you're like, well, I could be stubborn this way, but what if I was, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, stubbornness is also holds you back because, like I'm saying, you have to get rid of the way you have been doing things the past 15 years. You're not going to want to really do that. You might hear me, but you might say, yeah, Marisa has a point, but I just can't let it go. I just can't let it go. And that's really where the stubborn energy is coming in. But on the other hand, April might not be stubborn enough to where she sticks with one thing. You know what I'm saying? So you could help her with that energy to be stubborn and say, hey, we're doing this. And that's where my stubbornness is going to take this and take it from start to finish, because that's going to lay our foundation. You're the foundation guy. She's the face. She's the air sign that gets news out to everybody about you guys. Let her do what she does best, but also help her stay contained and help her stay focused. Okay.
Stay contained and focus. Got it.
Because right now you're the rock and she's the water, and there's like a big flood. And the rock's not moving and the water's going everywhere. Okay. So the rock and the water have to make a nice little waterfall that's pretty,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I know it's a lot to process.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us on to clarify.
Absolutely. Do you guys have any more questions?
So the going into the new energy, that will happen as we take one step at a time. You're saying that will help us be more directional to that end?
Well, you realize when you're tuning into your feelings, what feels right to you right now. So when you did the CD, like you kind of went, you said, we didn't know we were doing the CD release party for the lounge. It just came to you, right? That energy.
Yeah.
And then you had this great experience and you had positive feedback. So you followed your intuition. So it's a blend of intuition and practicalities, right?
Yes.
So you did that. And then you took the action to send me another email and said, hey, we would love to do more Halloween music. Okay. And I said, yes, of course we would love that. That's the lantern. It lit the next step, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't know this 2 weeks ago that you'd be doing this. Right. So it's not really like you can plan this new energy. You have to learn how to navigate it.
Okay.
So you take your strength, which is, hey, Catfish, here are all my ideas. Which one should we do? Which one should we start with? He's going to build. He's a builder. He's a fixer. He looks at things and he sees structure, right? That's beautiful. Beautiful. So he's got to help you lay the foundation for the house that you're going to build, right? Literally.
Yeah.
And you're going to say, ugh, these stones are outdated. If we're going to build this house, we need this type of rock, not this type of stone. Okay. So you guys have to work together in a better way to where you're not spinning and he's not just staying still and fixating on why he's not moving, you know?
Wow.
And then you guys are in your own head for different reasons. It's just not using your strengths wisely.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's great guidance. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I hope I was able to help you guys, and I hope I was able to help the people listening, so that maybe this benefits some of you to understand how we're kind of moving along. And then once like I said, once the manifestation course comes out, you're going to take these concepts and we're going to take them every single day and use them. And the goal to that 30-day course is that you take one big step toward your dreams at the end of the 30 days. So whatever that is for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So coming into the course, should we have an idea of what we're going after?
I think so. I think it would be a good idea for you to say, hey, we'd like to, because this is all channeled information. Okay.
Wow.
The course is channeled. And I've actually used it for myself to like build things in my own, to try it. Like I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to try it. And as I was doing, like, I actually got a lot of success from it.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, have an idea. And if you don't have an idea and you just want to be a better manifester and you just want to kind of attract better things in your life, this is there's no like real level that you need to be at. But for you guys, it might be good for you to have a project that you want to see through.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
I just want to say thank you again for everything you've been doing since you started coming on during the height of the pandemic, because it's been very grounding to hear the energy every week and to feel validated by what you're saying. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you
It's so nice to hear that, because I didn't even realize, and you told me after the show on Friday, you were like, I've taken notes I'm like, wait, you watched every single office, every single porch, and you took notes. See, when I first started this, I really didn't know how it was going to impact people. I was just trying to put it out there. And when I hear feedback like that, and this is free. This isn't a money-making thing. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm putting a lot of time into stuff just because of the joy and because I love it and I want to connect. And I feel like I'm called to do it. And I don't know what's going to happen. But as you could see, I was walking down the street in the beginning, and now I have like a split screen, awesome, like technological setup here. And I'm just trying to make it better, And the joy that I got is that when you guys were on the show on Friday night, I was like, this is like a dream for me, like to have this wonderful, I'm honored that you guys would come on and say, hey, we want to release our music on what you're doing, for people.
Aww.
Like that's an honor for me. And that's something that I felt like very humbled that you guys would trust me enough to say, hey, we want to do it with you. So that's a dream.
We're huge fans of you.
We're all one big team.
Yeah, we're all one big team. You keep us grounded, right, Catfish? Keep us grounded.
Yeah, see here I'm now. See, that's right. Got it right there.
I have a bass player here too. You know how grounded he is.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's the background guy. You have to play on each other's strength, really do. So we're gonna keep you guys. We're gonna keep you guys coming back. You had some great ideas, April, about being the house band for our lounge, which I'm so excited about.
Oh, thank you.
And even Alex was watching. He's like, you should just, have some musicians, just like a regular talk show features a musician once in a while. We'd love for you guys to help us book some of those
Yeah,
musicians.
I'm going to think about that for sure. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, and maybe that could be where you're better than me. But I want good music. You know what I mean? I don't want
jazz
good.
specifically, or do you want different
No.
horns? Okay.
I cast a wide net. I'm a music lover. I love music, and if you're intuitive in any way, you love music.
Yeah.
So I'd like to cast a wide net because everybody that's watching and listening probably has different tastes in music. So I just want talent, people that are good at what they do and are passionate. It's not about showcasing new talent or people that are famous. It's not about that. It's about who's going to get people to feel something. Who's going to because we're watching virtually, you know what I mean? We're not able to be out there experiencing it, and you were able to give an experience, for us.
I'm so glad.
So if you could help us choose that would be great, and send some people. You guys could be you do your thing, and then be you could bring on your little guest.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Introduce
I need
the
to put
world.
my thinking cap on. I know lots of musicians.
Yeah. So just pick some good ones.
Okay.
In your mind. But yeah, I would like all different areas. I don't care if it's, hip hop to country to, reggae to bluegrass. I don't care. As long as it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah. We don't know what we're doing with the lounge on Friday. Like I said, it's a show that books itself. I have no idea what's going on on Friday, but I had no idea what was going on last Friday. You guys were on, and all of a sudden it's a CD release party. So
that was awesome.
That's the lantern. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know why I'm doing this, but apparently it's helping people. That's good.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
This is great.
You're doing great. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, Catfish. Well, I'm going to wrap this up for today.
Okay.
And thanks everybody for coming on. Beth Ann loves the show. She's saying, whether you're walking down the street, on someone's porch, in the office, or the lounge, it's all good. Thank you, Beth Ann. I appreciate it. Stephanie loves hanging out with us. Beth Ann says pretty waterfall, so she's supporting you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Roberta Hogan, 10 years ago, you read My Family in the Mansion in the Park. Oh my God, that reminds me of you guys were talking about the place where you did the pottery on Friday. Yeah. And I was thinking you were going to talk about the mansions at Fairmount Park, which I did a whole series on CBS 3 7 years ago. And Roberta's here. And I read her family in one of the mansions, and that was crazy during the Halloween season. So hi, Roberta. Thanks so much for coming on. It's been a long time, and I hope you're doing well. So someone's asking me if it's baby time. Kelly Nicole, it's a baby. Do you mean should babies be coming or should be having babies? I don't know. That's kind of up to you, but I don't know if I should be telling you how to have a baby. I don't want that responsibility. Oh, so let's see. Marianne, love watching these videos. Good break from work, and I love hearing about the current energy. Thanks. All right. Well, we'll be doing the porch soon, in a couple days, hopefully, or I don't know. You never know what I'm going to do. You never know. All right, guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see you for the porch and the lounge. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks so much.